jumpstart your race in the final 500. That was it. Tim, thank you very much for joining us today. That was really terrific. We have another exhibition event on our dance card during this lunchtime interlude. And on the race course, we're seeing a demonstration event from a kindred sport, that is from US canoe and kayaking. This is their big boat, which is the K4. We have 5 K4s on the water. They are a mixture of junior athletes from the San Diego canoe and kayak team, joined by national team women's athletes who have been training at the Olympic Training Center. Those athletes are Maggie Hogan, Maggie Hogan, Emily Wright, Ariel Farrell-Wellman, and Rob Brown, all national team athletes. I'm joined here by Chris Barlow, who's the coach of the San Diego canoe and kayak team and a 1992 Olympian in Barcelona, where he paddled in the US men's Olympic K4. They're going to race over 500 meters, which is one of the racing distances for canoe and kayak. And I'm going to hand you over to Chris, and he's going to tell you a little bit about some of the athletes in the race and about some of the skills involved in paddling the K4 big boat.
Well, thanks very much, Charles. Good morning, everybody, or good lunchtime, everybody. We're really excited to be here as canoe kayakers, part of this amazing event, the Crew Classic, the largest rowing regatta on the West Coast, I believe. And we're very excited to be here and join in with this little demonstration of K4s. The K4 is a very quick event. The stroke rates are usually fairly fast. With the junior athletes in the boat, you won't see the 160 strokes a minute that senior national team men's boat will be putting out there, but you will see some pretty quick stroke rates up around the 110 to 130 strokes a minute range. We're actually going to race over the 250, the last 250, so it's going to be a fairly fast and furious race. And K4s, just to let you know, with 4 senior men in them, will go fast enough to pull a water skier. That's how fast these boats can generate speed. In lane 1, we have a boat that includes Ryan Stock, who's on the under-23 national team. He's also a rower at San Diego State. I believe he had one of the fastest rowing novice erg times without ever being in the rowing scull, just from his kayaking background. In lane 2, we have a gentleman, Rob Brown. Rob Brown's a very special athlete. He has a bronze medal from the Para Canoe World Championships. He's a sergeant in the U.S. Army, and he lost his leg in Iraq from an IED. And canoe kayak is one of the sports that he can compete in. He's also training in running and track and field at the Olympic Training Center in Chula Vista. In lane 3, we have Emily Wright, who's on the senior women's team. She's training down at the Olympic Training Center, and she's joined by Sean Barlow, who's also part of the junior national team. In lane 4, we have Maggie Hogan, who was at the Beijing Olympics and is part of the women's national team, and she's also joined by some of the younger paddlers of San Diego canoe and kayak team. And finally, in the crew boat in lane 5 is there Ariel Farrell-Wellman, who's joined by some younger San Diego junior canoe kayak team paddlers, and Ariel also is on the senior women's national team. So we have a unique race here because we've got 13-year-olds racing with 30-year-olds, and they're all thrown in the boat this morning.
And they're off.
And they're off. Thanks, Charles. And you can see the stroke rates. We've put these boats together to try and make them as even as possible. We'll see how well we do, because like I said, they were just thrown together this morning about an hour ago. So they've had a chance to warm up, and away they go.
And it's a very even race across the course. All the national team athletes sitting in the various boats will be hoping to get their junior athletes across the finish line first. Chris, tell us who's out in the lead boat in lane 3 at the moment.
Lane 3, we have Johnny Espinoza stroking that boat. He's just turned 13. Leilani Baum is in lane 2. Sean Barlow is in the second seat. Sean Barlow is in the 4th seat, and Emily Wright from the national team is in the 3rd seat.
And as they come down to the line, it looks like a win for that boat, the blue boat. Very close race over that distance. Canoe kayak races over 1,000 meters and 200 meters for men, and over 500 meters and 200 meters for women in the Olympic program. And para canoe, that's canoeing for as part of the para sport organization, has just been admitted to the Olympic Games and will debut in 2016 in Rio de Janeiro. Thank you, Chris, for joining us. I appreciate your help today explaining that wonderful demonstration of the sport of canoe kayak. Any of you rowers out there who are thinking that you might not be quite tall enough for the national team, hell, you might be tall enough, just the right size for the national canoe kayak team.
Thanks, Charles.
Our founding stewards and established